Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Greek lessons for the 106 portions of our study for DGTS, Devout Grace Theological Seminary. These lessons are being posted onto YouTube, and they're specifically there for the students of the seminary that are undergoing the courses, but other people might come in and then see what's going on. This is a sort of a basic study in Greek. It's for our Greek studies at seminary and biblical Greek. At the moment we're looking at the different declensions, and declensions themselves can be difficult to get your head around because the way they define them, it doesn't seem so cut and dried. Like anything in Greek, there's always going to be a lot of exceptions. You can sort of learn a rule. For example, with the declensions, often they'll teach the second declension first and then come back to the first declensions. The second declensions being the nouns that you should be familiar with now. That's like the ones that begin the nominative singular. When they're in the nominative singular masculine form, they'll take on the omicron sigma endings. Like you're seeing the word anthropos or angelos or logos. And they all finish with the omicron sigma, and that's in the nominative singular masculine form. So what I'll do here is I'll just take you back to a quick review of one of the examples we did in the last couple of weeks, and then we'll move on to the neuter declension. Now this is, you should see this on your screen now. This is the, page 24 from Machen's New Testament Greek for Beginners. I did send this PDF through to your, into the Facebook Messenger, sorry. And so this is on page, 24 of that. And no, not page 24, so page 25, just quickly review. Review's always important, of course. So we'll just quickly review the declensions of weos, ho, a son. Remember, the ho is that's the article in the nominative form, the singular form, and you'd use the article if we were saying the son, but without the article you just say a son. But often I'll give you the articles as well so that you can recognize how the article, or which article is going to fit with the noun. Okay, so here we have it here. Just quickly, we'll go through the singular first and then the plural. Some people, and even sometimes, you might want to change it up a little bit. You can go all the way through the singular, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, vocative, and then go on to the plural. Or you might prefer to do the nominative and the singular and then masculine form, and then jump over to back to genitive, singular, and plural that way. And it does, I think, just to get it into your mind, helps to do it both ways. It's one of these things that you do need to inculcate so that you can sort of, as you're reading, you can see what the case form is without having to keep reverting back to your charts. But just quickly, so I have weos, weu, weo, weon, weer. And in the plural, weoi, weon, weois, and weus. It's sort of pronounced that if it's omicron and upsilon together like that, and there's a rough breather, so you should probably say huius, but that's the dipthong. There's the u sound. And I noticed when I had you doing your recordings for your homework, often you'd say os, like that, but try to bring out the omicron upsilon with the u sound. Okay, so again, in the nominative form, that's, the son is he's the subject, he's performing the action. Weu would mean of a son, for example. Using the genitive, it expresses possession. Weo, it's you can say o because it's just the omega there. And actually they have the little, what we call the iota subscript underneath the omega there. And we don't actually say the iota. Really, it's just showing that this is the dative. but it sort of does help as a memory device. It's like a little arrow pointing off it, so it's a directional arrow saying to. It's like helping you to understand that this is dative is going in directional towards the sun, for example. The dative, when it's in the dative form, remember there's also, as part of the case that it is, and we're talking about cases here, nominative case, genitive case, dative case, for example. In the dative case, it also covers what they call the locative, which as regarding location, dative, locative, and instrumental of means is often sort of the longer name of it. So instrumental of means is telling you how something is happening. So often you'll see this translated as by. He was moved, you say moved or speaking by the Spirit. So you might have the word Spirit there would be in the dative mood, a dative case, sorry. And so that's like, locative of instrumental of means. Okay, and then the accusative, and that's the object form. So that's usually the noun that's having the action performed upon it. Okay, so that's just a review of the second declension nouns in the masculine form. Now what we're going to see here, if we come up to number 41, I think it is, I've got it set out here. Now here we have, they still call the second declension. The endings are going to change for the neuter. This is a neuter noun, the word is doron. The article in the nominative case is going to be to, and it's a gift. Now what you're going to see, if you look through here, you're going to see that the genitive and the dative endings are going to follow on from the same as the masculine endings. So the genitive finishes omicron upsilon, so doru, dative doro. Over here, doron, maybe if you set it as a long sound, or doron, and dorois. What does change is the nominative and the accusative endings, but they're exactly the same. And you'll see that's what they're saying here. It will be observed that doron is a neuter noun, and all neuter nouns of all declensions. So you're going to get, you can get, the declensions don't just specify what gender it is. So you're going to get maybe the neuter in the first declension, second declension, third declension. So there are changes, which is why I don't want to focus too much on sort of listing the exact categories of declensions at this stage. It's easy just sort of to remember. Like if you say, you're familiar with the word doron now, and you have to remember that that's a neuter noun. And it's and it's following these particular endings, and eventually that sort of will be committed to memory with a lot of repetition, a lot of reading, a lot of exercises. One thing I would do is, because some of you, I'm sure you like to just read through your Bibles, just reading through passages. If you're going through the Old Testament or as part of your studies and you have to look at a particular Bible verse, bring it up on your Bible software and get into the habit now of not just reading in the English, but also reading it in the Greek, and just trying to see which words fit with which. And that's helping as part of your inculcation and getting a broad, sort of like a comprehension of the Greek language as you're reading through your Bible verses. Okay, so this says, in all neuter nouns of all declensions, the vocative and accusative of both numbers, meaning whether in the singular or the plural, are like the nominative, and the nominative, vocative, and accusative plural always end in a short a. So dora, for example. So here you see that is the nominative and the vocative and even the accusative down here, they all take on the same endings, the omicron nu. And over in the plural here, it's the same, they end with a short a, they're calling it the alpha, dora, or dora, down here. Okay, so just to go through those, and you can do this as a recitation, I guess you call it reciting, as you go through the list, doron, doru, doro, doron, dora, doron, dorois, dora. If you do that a few times and even try to imagine doron, that's in the nominative, I think it's difficult. Oh, if you're saying as a, I think you call it a predicate nominative, like you're explaining the gift or you're introducing that. Yeah, I think, and sometimes you might say, how would you say, the gift is, yeah, so, you know, the gift is on the table, and that becomes a nominative, obviously. So, yeah, that's the nominative or the subject. Do-ru would be of a gift or from a gift in some way. Do-ro, that would be by means of a gift, possibly, or toward the gift. Do-ron. So, you know, I gave you, or how would you say that? The Son gave a gift to the apostle. So the Son, of course, that's huios, or I'd say the, so you have to have the article, ho huios, and gave would be lambano. Remember, lambano can mean give or receive as well. And then you put that into that would be the Son, the third person declension. So the ending takes on epsilon iota sigma, lambanes. And then he gave the present, do-ron, to the servant. I think I said the servant, or to the apostle. So that would be apostle takes on the dative form. Okay, so do apostolo. And we've got some exercises down below. I'll go through those with you. Yeah, okay, so that's probably enough just to let you know that there's the neuter nouns and they take on different endings, slightly different, but you can see those, you have to compare them between, for example, you've got number 41 here, and then we just had number 39 with the omicron sigma endings for the word son. Okay, so let's go down through now to the exercises we had last time at number 45. Those were your 105 exercises, so you've completed those, or you should have completed them already, and you know, most of them being marked. I actually sent the mark sheet back to you. For most of you, I would have given you some kind of a mark based on approximately how correct you gave them. It's always difficult to give an exact mark because sometimes you might just make a minor mistake and I'll overlook that, you know, within sort of like one exit or one sentence. Might just be a slight spelling mistake, but you've got the general idea, so I can give you a mark on that. But for these, we got down on number 40, exercise number 45, we got down to number 18. Now, when I gave you the exercises, I cut it off here without going over the page. And so I marked it correct when you just said Delphi, that's brothers and servants or slaves. Okay, but actually it goes over the page. And if you look down here, I didn't give you this, so we'll just finish off these and then we'll carry on to exercise number 2 for the next part of your lesson. So this will be brothers and slaves, and gnoskousen. Remember, gnosko means to know. I think some of you said to understand, but that's actually a different word. So gnosko just means to know. And then this is in the second person, the third person plural, because brothers over here and servants, that they are the third person. You put them in as a third person. Yeah, so these are the ones that are doing something. Yeah, that would be right. Okay, but they're in plural and the nominative form. They are the subject. Okay, so what are they doing? So you've got the brothers and the servants. They know and they see. What are they seeing? They're seeing temples and gifts. Actually, though, in this case, again, you see a hiera, which would mean temple, because it's in that declension that we saw, it could either be singular or plural. Oh, sorry, no, this is plural. Okay, so it's plural only. So, and I guess, sorry, it could be nominative or it could be accusative, but obviously the context is telling you that the brothers and the slaves, they're seeing something. So what is it? Well, they have to be seeing the temples, that's plural, and gifts. So again, number 18, brothers and servants, know, and see, temples and gifts. It's a bit of a strange way of saying something, but that's how it is. So 19, graphe. Now we don't have the subject here, but we have the verb, and it's telling us that this is the third person singular. Okay, so apostolos, and this is singular here, so the apostolos in the first person, so you would say an apostle. What's he doing? He's writing. An apostle is writing. Nomon is a law, or it could be like a particular, what would you call that, like a phrase of law. Okay, but say, literally it's just a law. And lege means he speaks words, logos, that's plural of logos, so he speaks words to sons of slaves. See the word dolos, omicron second will be slave, but omicron upsilon is genitive, so just to easily translate, you say of a slave. And here this is plural. Okay, so again, here's the nominative. Usually when you're writing a subject, you put writing a sentence, you put the subject first. So here you would say an apostle writes a law and speaks words to sons of, because it's here we have the genitive, sons of a slave or of a servant. Dulu. Actually, I believe dulu, that's, just have to check that singular or plural. I think it's singular. That's right, okay, of a slave. It's plural will be on, okay. Number 20. Now we have plural, the subject is plural. Oi, so that's sons of what? Sons of apostles, apostolon. That's genitive, plural here, because you have omega nu here. So sons of apostles are speaking. The legusi, this is the third person plural, and that matches with the nominative here, which is in the plural as well, sons. So here the verb has to match with the plural form as well. Okay, so sons of apostles speak or are speaking words, and remember from the word luo means to loose or loosen or even free, are freeing in this case, because free would be it sounds like the most accurate according to the context, and they are freeing doulos, which would be slaves. Okay, so again, sons of apostles are speaking words and freeing slaves. So maybe they're announcing to them, you are now free to go. Okay, so that's just to finish off that and just to give you, something to look at. Now here's your homework. There's actually 18 questions, 16 this time. We've got 16 questions where you have to translate these back into Greek. And it's going to be a bit difficult, but we'll go through the first 8 together. I had a quick look earlier, so I think I should be able to get through these okay. If I do make any mistakes and you catch it, please let me know. I'm not a total scholar, as you've probably recognized already. Okay, so a servant is writing a law. Now, the servant we have to put into the nominative case, and it's just so there's going to be no article. We know the nominative case for servant is doulos or doulos. Okay, and he's writing, that's the present tense, and we're getting familiar with the present tenses of the verb. And writing, grapho would be I write, and then in the servant, that's the third person, singular, so that becomes graphe. And then a law is just nomos, nomos would be the nominative, nomon is the accusative. So here we would say, doulos graphe nomos. Nomon in the accusative. That's number 1. And nomon again is the accusative because he's writing it down. That's the object of the action. Okay, number 2, a son sees words. A son would be just vios, lepes, he sees. Okay, well, we don't say a son he sees, but weos, blepes, logos. He sees words. Not logos, logos. Sorry, logos. Okay, that's the accusative plural form. Number 3, brothers are loosing servants. So when we see the word loosing, we don't normally say this in English. It's not losing like you're losing something, you can't find it. That would be just one O there, but this is loosing. So we have to sort of think it's free, or maybe they're tied up. They're literally tied up and they're undoing the chains or the rope to let them go, or freeing possibly. But the word there would be luo as the verb. So brothers, adelphoi, adelphois, okay, because it's the plural nominative, adelphois, and then luusi. Okay, luusi, because that has to be the third person plural. And what do they do? It's the servants, and this would be doulos, the accusative plural form. So again, you've got brothers in the plural, that's what did I just say? Adelphois. Adelphois, luusi or luusin, and then doulos. Sons take gifts. Sons, again, this is weois. Take, lambano, the word is lambano, but this would be lambanusin. And then gifts we just had, that's the word dora, and even in the plural form, the accusative form, it's dora as well. So in this case, we're saying weois lambanusi dora. Next we see an apostle sees a servant and a gift. An apostle, so that's word apostolos. Blepe, third person of the word blepo. Blepe, he sees a servant. Dolon, that's right. Sorry, Dulon, Kai, you got the word and, so we usually just say Kai there. And the gift, that's Doron. So again, you'd have apostolos, blepe, Dulon, Kai, Doron. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think these are right. I don't actually have an answer sheet for this, so we're going to have to sort of work through these together. Some of you, I don't have a photographic memory, and maybe some of you more gifted students can. And once you see those charts, you can remember it straight away. Servants and sons are saying a word to a brother. So here the word do, and the sentences get longer, but you're just applying the same principle. So don't be too off put by the sentences. You just got to sort of work out every word, and then you can put it together. But here's the subject here. So these are nominative, forms of the, we said nominative case. So servants, that's doulos, and sons, weois, are saying a word. So that's the word lego, as I say, so you have to put this into the third person plural. So that's legusi, to a brother. And so because it's saying a word, legusi, logus, because logus is the plural of the accusative of word, logos, and then to a brother. And so you have the word adelphos as the brother. Now that has to go into the dative case, and it's adelpho. Remember, it finishes with the omega ending with the iota subscript in the singular. If you go back to the words, the declensions for like weos or apostolos, or in this case adelphos, the dative, it's like to a brother, and again that's adelpho with the iota subscript. Okay, so again, this would be servants, so that's doulois, kai, weois, legusin, a word, it's just logos, sorry, so it's singular, logos, sorry, logon, because it's in the accusative, logon, adelpho. Number 7, we see gifts. Now that's blepomen. Remember, that's the first person. Now into the first person plural of the word blepo. Blepomen. What are we seeing? Gifts. So it's dora, kai, doulos. We see gifts and servants. And we'll do one more. That'll take us halfway through the exercise, and then you can finish off by yourself. Men is the anthropoi, it's the subject. They see words. Blepusi, kai, dora, adelphus, so adelphon, so that's of a brother, so belonging to the brother in the plural. Sorry, it's the not the plural, it's the singular. So that would be adelph. Now I've forgotten the genitive singular here. Let me just go adelphus, right? Okay. Where are we? Gifts of a brother. So that let's start again. Okay. So anthropoi, blepusi, logus, kai, dora, doru. That's the genitive of a brother. Kai. Okay, so it was gifts of a brother and houses of apostles. So now that word houses is the accusative, and apostles and sons is going to be in the genitive, because the houses belong to the apostles and sons. Okay, so you're going to have the word kai, and then houses is the word oikos is the nominative, and oikon, this is the singular though, this is the accusative, and in the plural it becomes and my brain's starting to go, it's getting too late. Houses in the plural form. Let me just check this, sorry. Oh, us. Okay, so that oikus. Never heard that before, so it just sounds a bit unfamiliar. Okay, so so we assume that the accusative plural for houses is oikus. I'll have to check that. And then of apostles, so apostolus, I can't get my mouse to work. Apostolus, that's of apostles. Oh, sorry, accusative plural. Apostolone finishes off with the omega nu ending, and then we, I guess I'd say we own. Okay, so that would be sons is spelled we own. So you have the rough breathe above the iota. We, omicron, become omega and nu on that. Yeah, okay. Actually, I did intend to write that out into the lexicon as well while doing that. That might have just been a little bit awkward though, but I think you got the picture there. Okay, I'll just do that last one again because that was a bit long. In fact, what I'll do, because I can bring it up here in the book, and I'll see if I can type it in and just sort of show you how it works on this as well. So what do we have? That was number 8. So men see words and gifts. So you have the word men. If you're doing it on the Lexi Logos here, I'll just check that you can see it. You can see that. Okay, so the word for men is anthro. Sorry, anthropos. That's pi. I'm still getting used to this program. It's very good actually. Now that's singular. It should be plural here. So anthropoi. And then C. So that's blepusi. Blepusi. And then I think with this case you put should be a new one here. That's it. Blepusen. So the men see, and they're seeing words. So now we have to put the words. This is the accusative going into the. It's the plural form. So logoi, logus equals. Now remember with the sigma, if you click on the S, that gives you the first sigma. But the sigma that you see here, that's only for use in the middle of a word. If you see the sigma at the end of the word, it has to be more of the S-shaped sigma. But if you click the equals on your keyboard after the sigma, and then it changes from the what you'd call the sigma in the use of the middle of a word to the sigma that you see at the end of the word. Okay, so here we have men see words and gifts of a brother. So you got kai and the gifts of a brother, and gifts is dura, so that should be of a brother. Is that right? Okay, and a brother is a delphos, but a delphon, that becomes the a delphon. Now you need the omega. Omega is the W, and then a delphon. So that's gifts of a brother. And houses of apostles and sons. Okay, now we're sort of assuming that the word for house is oikos. That's the plural form. No, I can't do that. That's the equals. And koidon, delphoi. Oh, and. So I need an and in here. Sorry. Okay. And so they're seeing. Well, they're seeing words and gifts of a brother and houses of apostles and sons. Okay, so now the word apostolone, yes, apostol, great fun, isn't it? And apostolou is the plural, again, apostolone. Okay, that's the genitive plural form of apostolos, of the apostles. So the houses of apostles, and who else did we have in there? And sons. Okay, and so that'd be kai. And of sons. So you have to put this in the plural genitive form as well. And thank you. Okay, so that's the one there, and I'll put a full stop. Not that the Greeks ever use full stops as far as I know. Okay, so that's how you'd have to put the answer in. And then you just check your work, make sure everything sort of fits right. Anthropoi, so that's the plural nominative form. Blepusen, they see words and gifts of a delphoi, of a brother. That's what we had, yep. And houses, oikos. And again, it just looks a little bit unfamiliar, so I'll have to check that, I think. Apostolone kai ŷiων. So, ŷiων, so I've got this spelled wrong. That's why I need to check your work. Should we, we, sons. I need a rough breather, that's why. And I'm not familiar with the rough breather. Here it is. Here's the rough breather on this. This one here, perhaps. It doesn't really look like it. That's more of an accent. Oh, so you put the H in front of it. That's probably why. I think H. No, they're not doing that. How would I write the word huios with a rough breather? Maybe you can tell me, but I'll just guess you've got something. Here's the rough breathers on here. Oh, maybe this one here. Let's try that. Okay. Hui. Sounds of fun. I'll spell something out. Upsilon. Oh, it's a upsilon. That's a Y. Getting confused with the odor. Let me find this. Where was it? There we go. Okay, ŷiων. That's the one. That's right. So, and houses of apostles and sons. That makes sense. Okay. So your homework, should you accept it, which I assume you will, because if you don't, then you won't get a mark for it, is number 45, and we're just going through from number 9 through to number 16. But I would recommend that you review the first ones that we did from exercise number 1. This is 45, exercise number 1 through to 18. And then even from in section 2 of the same exercise, we did the first 8 together just now. So you can review those, and for your homework you have to send them in, like you type them into the Lexilogos as we've done here, and that's from number 9 to number 16. There'll be 8 questions. It should be 8 questions for you there. Okay, so have fun with that, and we'll see you all on Sunday for the Sunday class. Okay. Now once I get finished with this.